Let's go. It's your back, it dey keep passing. It dey bring out the best in me. I dey feel your recipe. Make you give me that recipe. Fine, fine. Yeah, you fine. You so divine. I dey feel you die.
All right, y'all. Welcome to a new episode of Awesome Entertainment. It's your boy Joel Awesome. We talk about Send Help. All right. I saw the trailer for this. Didn't really know what it was about, but it looked interesting. I was going to spend my money on it because most movies suck nowadays. So I was like, let me just wait. I saw it pop up on the website. So I was like, let me check it out. It actually ended up being, I thought it was all right. I didn't hate it. Now, it starts off, this is a spoiler review. So if you ain't seen it, hit save, come back, because I'm gonna go through it. All right, so you got 3, 2, 1. I'm jumping into spoilers. Starts off with homegirl. Now I don't even remember her name. Let me look it up so I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? So I can be official. Help. Linda, yes. So Linda is a survivor enthusiast. She loves the Survivor. Conveniently enough, I don't know where that came from. They was just like, she was watching Survivor and then immediately she knows everything about Survivor. But basically I don't want to say she's a pushover because she really stood her ground when they try to, finesse her out of her job. But this is why you need to own your own shit. This is what I'm talking about, Linda. You talking about you can run it. You need to be the owner. So homeboy, Bradley becomes the new CEO. He don't like her. He just trying to get baddies, around him in his business so he can smash out and cash out, And I mean, that ain't a bad plan. But, he really, you got to keep the girls doing the, all the number crunching and all the problem solving. You got to keep her around so the business keep running smooth. But he was going to push her to the back and bring the homie up. The homie was an asshole. Either way, long story short, they end up going on this trip. They got to take her with her, even though they done shitted on her. She did stand her ground. She did run up on the homie in his office and was like, yo, what the fuck? And he basically was like, how it goes. He like, all right, say your spiel so I can tell you to fuck off. And he did. But they ended up, they got to take her with her. Long story short, we get to the real part of the movie. They get on this plane. They clowning her. Which one? I'm like, are people really this mean? And when you gonna crash out? You ain't finna watch videos of me in front of me, laughing about me, and I ain't finna smack y'all up beside your head. I know you the CEO or whatever, but this is harassment. All right, this is an easy lawsuit. You know what I mean? This is an easy lawsuit. So I didn't really get why she was tripping. I would have been phone out. You know what I mean? Would have had my phone out recording this because it's an easy lawsuit. But either way, plane crashes. Yo, it did get. This is where it started getting bloody. And that shit caught me off guard. Homie was what's his name? I don't think it was Donovan. Maybe it was Donovan. Either way, one of the sidekick to the CEO is flying out the plane. He holding on to her legs. She trying to save him. She trying to pull him in, and he like, give me your seatbelt, give me your seat. He trying to pull her out. I'm like, bro, even if you was going to do that, you got to get up closer to her. He was just holding on to the foot. So he climbing up. This is when shit started getting wild. So she stabbed him she grabbed a fork, she stabbed him in his in his arm, and people started getting towed up on the plane. And that's when this show is the movie. Sorry, it's not a show. It's a movie, but it's a little bit more violent than I was expecting. But I guess, you should see it on the cover. And she got blood and stuff all over her. But, that shit got violent as fuck. So anyway, they land on the plane. Just her and Bradley, the only one left. Bradley, she saved his life, right? She knows survivor shit, and she's not injured. I don't know how none of these niggas are injured after this plane crash. But she saved his life, and he's still acting like an asshole. Now it's like, oh, he got to learn his lesson. She leave him behind. But I'm like, come on, bro. Is the plane crash not enough lesson, and you waking up on a desert island enough for you to want to save her life? You know what I mean? Like, or not save her life. She saved your life, so for enough for you to have some fucking gratitude and not be an asshole. But nah, he's still an asshole. She leave him. She leave him for like a day and a half with no food, no water. And he can't move. He's like injured. Like literally, he just catching rain, sun, everything straight to the face. Like straight to the face. This nigga's face is a whole patio. You know what I mean? He got sun, sand, everything. But yeah, so she ends up, but this is the funny thing about the plot twist, and obviously you already watched it because you watching the video. She's fucking crazy. And the funny thing is, like, I didn't know what the message was behind this shit because it was like, they making fun of her like she's some crazy girl. I thought she was just eccentric. You know, she's just a little different. I don't really make fun of people for that. But she was actually fucking crazy. And she ends up, let him sit out there for that. She could have killed him then. She's building a hut, teaching him how to survive. And she's not trying to leave. She's like, yo, I'm loving this. I'm loving living on this island, living off the land, hunting, fishing, and living life. And it's like, I guess she didn't have nobody in her life that, you know, no family members, which I don't remember. Maybe they talked, maybe she had a mom or something, but I don't remember any family members in there, so maybe that was the point. But she didn't want to leave. She wanted to stay with Bradley, who was an asshole to her you know, whole life. And I'm like, why are you? I guess maybe she was in love with Bradley. You know how it go at the end where he was like trying to say, I'm in love with you. She knew he was lying or whatever. And they was fighting for real at the end. Like it was getting bloody, stabbing each other. He tried to pop her eyeball out. There was some crazy, like some crazy scenes in there. You know, I always rank these movies and music, everything I do on replay value. Okay, so it's all about the replay value. Would I watch this again? Probably. I might skip ahead a little bit at the beginning, but I would definitely watch this again. I probably will watch it again just because it was it was kind of funny. But yeah, she ends up being fucking crazy. And maybe it was the boar. So there was a point in time she's hunting, she tries to fight a boar, and that shit was graphic. That was a graphic scene. Okay, that's all I can say. There's blood, guts, vomit. And it was cool though. It was like a coming out, you know, to your savagery. But I don't know if that's what tipped the scales on her craziness, because she didn't want to leave. She didn't want to leave the island. So she, like, anytime like a boat or something could come to rescue her, she wouldn't tell the homie. He tried to escape. Damn near killed her. And the worst thing is, he would just give her some some mushrooms. Was it mushrooms or like seaweed or something? He gave her something to try to chill her out, but it damn near killed her. But he's trying to escape it on this weak ass raft at the same time. Obviously, you know how this story goes. It's like a regular island trap story, right? You get on the raft, that shit fall apart in the water, come back. This shit graphic, bro. She come in this motherfucker, pull him out the water, give him mouth to mouth, and just vomit all over his face and his mouth. I'm like, what is the point of this? This is nasty. And he wake up feeling more gratitude. Once again, he relearning the same lesson about the 12th time. But like, I don't know if I'd be that grateful at that point. I was like, let me die. You know, you don't do all that. She threw up like 6 times on this man's face because she was poisoned. That's why. But nah, let me die. Let me die. So either way, she becomes crazy. She don't want to leave the island. His fiance finds the island on some gangster shit. Like, yo, they gave up. They stopped looking. I got on a boat, my own bread, my own captain. And we pulling up. We looking for the man. She found the island. She finds the girl. You know what's gonna happen. Now she at the point where she like, fuck. Either the jig is up. You know. Either we let homegirl. We leave homegirl to Bradley. They leave. And they set it up like maybe she's I guess maybe she's in love with Bradley. But either way, if she's in love with him, like, I don't know. Either way, this is where she flipped. And this is where you realize, okay, I don't even know if I'm cheering for the good guy right now. Because she is killing the fiance, pushing her off a cliff, pushing the cap. He ain't do nothing. All I'm doing is my job. And she killed them both, push them off a cliff. Bradley find the dead body with the ring. Like, what? Are you crazy? That's when the movie starts to end. But basically, you should watch the movie. I would recommend watching the movie if you just want something dumb and entertaining. Yeah, that's when they throw down. She throw down with him. They find this house. I guess she already been found it. That's where she had this knife. I should have told you about that. But either way, she kill him. That's how the story ends. She kill him. She go back to work like nothing happened. And I'm like, that's the end of the end. Like, there is no more movie. I'm like, wow. So that wasn't even a happy ending. She wasn't even the good guy. I was watching the bad guy the whole time. I guess it was a whole villain origin story, peak to whatever she is now. But I'm like, you're a murderer. Just rolling amongst the regular people, like, fuck it. And that's like, fuck Bradley. Nobody looking for him. I just was not expecting that twist at the end of the movie that she's just going to be a straight up killer. Usually they try to justify shit. Even with the villains, they try to justify shit. With her, it wasn't really justified. Like, yeah, they was mean to you at the beginning, but that doesn't equal murdering people. You know what I mean? Like, you could have just got off the island, got a new job. But either way, it was entertaining. I did think it was funny. There was some funny parts. The violence was somewhat believable. It wasn't like she was Black Widow or nothing like that. But no, I get them like a 7.5, 7.5, 7.6 out of 10. But I recommend watching. They got replay value. The first time you might be like, whatever. I think the second time will be better. I ain't watching the second time yet, but I will. Either way, let me know what y'all think. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe.
Don't play with my patience, man, they gone with the flow when they tryna fake it. That's not the way I roll, that's not the combination. You start off with the dough before you start the conversation. No one start the salutations, man, don't play with me. I'm coming from a place they would hate to be. I'm going through a phase you would hate to see. They say this life's a trip, ain't no telling where it's taking me. When you on the edge and you make your next move, better be your best. Before you throw it to the depths, better reinvest. Man, I count every moment and count every step, so I know I'm blessed. Now it's time.